everyone, welcome back to the channel Love and Lust Lessons, where we dive into all things relationships, intimacy, and dating dynamics. Today, we're going to tackle a pretty loaded question that often gets asked, but it's also one that's surrounded by a lot of myths and misconceptions. What are the so-called signs that a woman has slept with many men? Before we dive into this, let's make one thing clear. There's nothing wrong with a woman's sexual history, no matter what it looks like. And remember, you can't judge anyone's worth or character based on their past experiences. With that being said, today we're going to debunk a few common stereotypes, talk about what really matters, and give you some insight into why these questions come up in the first place. Ready? Let's jump in. Sign number 1, physical appearance. The first sign people often point to is a woman's physical appearance. There's this old, outdated belief that you can tell how many partners a woman has had based on her body shape or even the way she dresses. And let me be blunt here, that's completely untrue. Body shape is influenced by genetics, lifestyle, and many other factors, not sexual activity. And as for how a woman dresses, it's a reflection of her personal style and comfort, not an indicator of her sexual history. A woman's confidence in her body doesn't mean she's been with many partners. Confidence comes from self-love, self-respect, and sometimes just loving that outfit she's rocking. So if you hear someone say, "You can tell by looking at her," just know that's a myth with no basis in reality. Sign number 2, sexual experience and skill. The next sign people often mention is a woman's sexual experience or skill. There's this misconception that if a woman seems sexually confident or knowledgeable, she must have had a lot of partners. But let's set the record straight. Sexual experience doesn't always correlate with the number of partners. Many women explore their sexuality in a variety of ways, whether through self-exploration, education, or long-term relationships. You could be in one relationship for years and learn a lot about intimacy. Or some women might naturally feel confident in expressing their desires without needing extensive experience. So remember, just because someone knows what they like in the bedroom doesn't mean they've been with a bunch of partners. They've probably just taken the time to understand themselves. And that's something we should all be applauding. Sign number 3, openness about sexuality. 7 to 9 o'clock. Here's another one that people often misunderstand. Openness about sexuality. Some people believe that if a woman talks about sex openly, she must have a long history of partners. But that's not the case at all. Being open about sex can mean she's comfortable with her body and her sexuality, but it doesn't tell you anything specific about her sexual past. Some women are simply advocates for sexual health and wellness. They might talk about their experiences or give advice, but that doesn't mean they've had more partners than someone who's more private. It just means they're confident talking about something that's still considered taboo by many people. And honestly, we should be celebrating that openness because it helps break down the shame and stigma that so often surrounds female sexuality. Sign number 4, relationship history. Lastly, people often look at a woman's relationship history as a sign. The idea is, if she's had a lot of relationships or dated around, she must have slept with many partners. But here's the thing, dating doesn't always mean sex. People date for all kinds of reasons: companionship, emotional connection, or just getting to know someone better. Just because someone has had multiple relationships doesn't mean they've slept with all of their partners. It's important not to make assumptions about someone's sexual history based on their relationship status. What really matters in any relationship is trust, communication, and mutual respect. How many people someone has or hasn't been with shouldn't affect how you see them as a person. The myth of signs. Why this question comes up? First off, let's talk about the myth of signs. The idea that you can look at a woman and somehow know how many people she's been with is not just inaccurate. It's a harmful stereotype. Society has long placed unfair judgments on women's sexual behavior, creating a double standard where women are scrutinized far more than men. Here's the truth. There are no reliable signs that can tell you about someone's sexual history. People are individuals and they have different experiences, body types, and preferences. What you think you know based on outward appearances or behaviors is often influenced by cultural biases rather than reality. With that in mind, let's break down 4 so-called signs people often talk about and why they're rooted in myths rather than facts. Conclusion. So, there you have it. The idea that there are signs that a woman has slept with many men is really just a myth, built on outdated stereotypes and harmful assumptions. A woman's sexual history is her business, and it doesn't define her worth, her character, or her value in any relationship. Instead of focusing on someone's past, let's focus on building connections that are based on trust, respect, and open communication. After all, that's what really matters in any relationship, right? Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or eye-opening, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more real talk on relationships, intimacy, and everything in between. See you next time.